Clayton Kershaw makes his last regular season start at Dodgers Stadium tonight against the Giants. We've got the biggest questions the Dodgers still need to answer about the postseason roster, some secret weapon bullpen pieces that could be options, Roki Sasaki, Kyle Hurt. We're also talking about Clayton Kershaw's legacy, the top 5 best moments from Clayton Kershaw's future first ballot Hall of Fame career. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Roy, parade. We got it, parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 club. Monkey magic. Freeman hits the ball right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain. I cover the Dodgers for Dodgers Nation. I'm a credentialed member of the media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you want to support every single episode, man, a lot of Dodgers fans last couple of days that love this show. Oliver, want to shout out Ethan, a kid who loves the show. So many people rocking with us, appreciate it. But if you want to support every single episode, hit the like button and drop a comment down below. Let us know. Describe what Clayton Kershaw means to you, his legacy in 3 words or less. Also, what is the moment that you'll remember Kershaw most for? And how should his statue look at Dodger Stadium one day? This is a live show, and I've got super producer, as always, Noel. We also have a new member to the team. This is Emma. Emma is rocking with us, a community manager. Emma, okay, who's your all-time favorite Dodger? Super easy.
Probably Cody Bellinger. He was my favorite in 2017, so I got to stick with him.
Cody Bellinger, that's a nice pull. I mean, I'm a lifelong belly eaver. We'll never stop belly eaving over here, so I love that. Well, guys, Emma, she's going to be helping us out, so definitely show her some love down below in the comment section. And Nose by Noel, follow him as well, and he's going to be looking for all of your comments throughout the show. We're going to feature them during the 7th inning stretch. And before we get going here, I want to give a special shout out to our friends over at Born and Raised. So if you guys know the best streetwear, sportswear, fashion wear when it comes to Dodgers merch is always Born and Raised. And I got the new collection on right here. You got the A-frame snapback, the Let's Go Dodgers. And then you also have the awesome World Series patch on the side. But I also got the black one too. Look at the black one. Let's Go Dodgers. You got the awesome, look at the patch on the side. This is straight gas, straight fire. I don't know. What do you guys, Emma and Noel, like, how do you guys like describe something that's cool? Do you call it fire, gas? I mean, like when something looks cool, I mean, like I'm trying to make sure. Is this 6'7"? Like, is that the hat? Is it? No, it's not 6. No, it's 7 5/8. It's not 6'7". So
they're gonna make an edit out of you.
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah, you gotta do the hand.
Okay, there you go. 6. Okay. No, this is a banger too. You got the fitted, you got the Let's Go Dodgers, but also I like the LA detailing right here. And then this is the hoodie. The owner of Dodgers Nation, Gary, is claiming that he's gonna get the hoodie. I think it might go to Noel because
I might need that one.
This looks like a Noel hoodie. You got the Born Raised on the side, LA on the front, and on the back as well. Check this out, straight up heat, and it's made by New Era. So this stuff sells out as soon as it drops, and it's dropping in less than 15 minutes. So go to bornraised.com to check it out. Anything else for the promos for how they can get this, Noel?
No, guys, just be ready at 12, like DMX said, in 10 minutes. Go to bornandraised.com and secure some of this collection. There's a lot of cool stuff. And also, if you guys go to their Instagram channel, Born and Raised, they're dropping some hints. They're going to be hiding hats all around the city, so you guys go find some.
Jose Aguirre said Milwaukee advertisement. Hey, for me, you know how I get down. I am super cheap on a lot of things. If it's free, it's for me. If it's free, give me 3. And they gave us a lot more than that. But are you guys born and raised in LA? Me, Pasadena, grew up a Dodgers fan. Where were you guys born? Let me know down below. And were you raised a Dodgers fan? Because I know a lot of you guys are and have been and are definitely still trying to process the retirement of Clayton Kershaw. So we've got so much Dodger baseball to get into. This is an exciting day in Dodgerland. So let's get right into it.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
So later in the show, I've got an exclusive interview with Miguel Rojas from yesterday in that Dodgers dugout. And we talked about the mindset of this team heading into October. Are they disappointed that they're not going to finish with one of the top 2 seeds? How does this Dodgers team get it going and making sure that everything's clicking? We're going to talk about that. But before we talk about Clayton Kershaw, we're going to spend a lot of the show talking about that a little later. I want to get into the most interesting updates in the world of Dodger baseball right now. And I think right at the top of that is 2 options that the Dodgers could go to as far as bullpen pieces in October. Because this offseason, Andrew Friedman, he already did his Christmas shopping, right? He went out there, he dropped $72 million on Tanner Scott. You dropped $13 million on Kirby Yates. You brought back Blake Trinan and Michael Kopech was back in the fold. Alex Vesey and Anthony Bonda and you had Evan Phillips at the time. It felt like that this bullpen was going to be intact, was going to be one of the better bullpens in Major League Baseball. Truth of the matter is, though, is that this is the first time in a long time that the Dodgers have not had a top 5 bullpen. Essentially every year throughout this run, the Dodgers have had one of the better bullpens in baseball, top 5 perennially. This year, from start to finish, they've had a top 20 bullpen. They're 20th in Major League Baseball in ERA, and giving up home runs has been an issue. But what I've said this entire year is it's tough to look at season-long stats when it comes to evaluating this bullpen because a lot of the guys that were in this bullpen aren't here anymore and won't be, right? The Lou Trivinos, the Matt Sowers, the Will Kleins, those types. Those guys aren't here. And I've always said that the bullpen in the postseason was going to look very different than the bullpen in the regular season. So what are the developments? Well, yesterday, Dave Roberts said that after Roki Sasaki came out of the pen for the first time and pitched well, he looked really good yesterday. And yes, it's a small sample size. It's a small sample size, but he had to pitch well to even be considered for the next step. Yesterday, Roki Sasaki, out of the bullpen for the first time, he gave up no runs, had 2 strikeouts and 1 walk, had 5 whiffs and 1 inning of work. And most importantly, the fastball velo averaged 98.9 miles per hour. He had 100 on the heater. So that was all designed to see, can you pass this test? And he passed this test with flying colors, right? And it's too late for him to be the Roki of the year, but could he be the Roki of the postseason for the Dodgers? And you have guys like Jack Dreyer and Dalton Rushing, guys that could contribute. There's no doubt about that. But the upside of Roki Sasaki is very enticing. The upside of Roki Sasaki really makes it feel like this could be a legitimate option. The only thing that's working against them is there's just not a lot of time to evaluate him in that role at the big league level. But Dave Roberts did say yesterday that Roki is going to make another relief appearance with the OKC Comets on Sunday. And if that goes well, he could be back in the majors next week. He is in contention for the postseason roster. So Dave would not be saying that if it wasn't something that they were considering. And then you add the fact that yesterday, Michael Kopech, he struggled once again. The fastball velo was down. He's averaging 94.6 miles per hour on the fastball. The command just was not there. I think the body language, the facial expressions, he just doesn't look right. And last night, Kopech, he went a third of an inning, had 2 walks, gave up a run, had a strikeout, and that run was charged after Blake Trinan came in and issued the walk. But you look how he's looked since he's been back in September. A 6.75 ERA in 4 innings of work, 4 strikeouts to 9 walks. Earlier in June, he looked good, and then he had the meniscus injury. But I think right now, I do think that there's been 2 guys that have lost their postseason consideration, at least right now. And I think that's Michael Kopech and possibly Justin Robleski, just because they have a lot of lefties already. And I think that where they're at in their season, Robleski's pitched a lot, kind of needed some rest, and he gave all those singles the other night, and you got guys in front of him. Anthony Bonda, I think Tanner Scott, of course, you're still going to go with that. You've got Alex Vesia, Jack Dreyer. We could see Clayton Kershaw in some capacity, right, as far as a different role. But Roki Sasaki, I think, is important because he could be the replacement to Michael Kopech. And that is a guy that can throw 100-mile-per-hour fastballs, a triple-digit heat guy that Michael Kopech was for this team last year. So I'm here for it. I want to take the best 13 pitchers. And if I had to pick between the potential and upside of Roki Sasaki versus what the Dodgers have gotten from Kirby Yates this year and what they've seen from Michael Kopech since he returned, I think at this point, I would go with Roki Sasaki if things continue to trend in the right direction. Yes, Kirby Yates is a veteran. I do think that there's something to be said about that. But Yates this season, he's been a major disappointment. A 5.18 ERA in 40 innings. He's given up 8 home runs. Last year, he was great. A 1.17 ERA. That ERA is up to 5.18 this year. So Roki is certainly in the mix, and that's a major, major development for this team, because if he can perform like he has during parts of his career when he's been dominant, the Dodgers get dominance in that bullpen. And they have a lot of guys that have the potential to be really, really good, but they don't have a lot of guys that have the potential to be lights out dominant. And that's what you need in the postseason. You don't want to put the ball in play. The more times you put the ball in play, something bad can happen. We saw that in 2022 at Brusdar Grotto, right? Ball gets put in play against the Padres and bad things happen. So I'm all in on the idea of Roki getting an opportunity. And then the next one is Kyle Hurt. So Kyle Hurt is a little more under the radar, a little sneaky, just because he's not this high-profile guy like Roki is. He wasn't the former top prospect in all of baseball, but he has a changeup that gives you a different look, which is important to building a bullpen. Andrew Friedman has said that multiple times. And then he's also fresh too. And I asked Dave Roberts a couple days ago about Kyle Hurt, and I was expecting Dave to say, yeah, he's having a pretty decent rehab and pretty much shoot down the idea of using Kyle Hurt this year. But here's what Dave Roberts told me when I asked him about Kyle Hurt's rehab and if he could be an option for the Dodgers postseason bullpen.
David, Kyle Hurt, what have you heard about how his rehab's gone?
Kyle was good his first one. This one was just okay, but good. The stuff's good. Kyle has playoff caliber stuff. It's swing and miss stuff. So he's in the conversation. I mean, that's just the way it is, and that's just honest. You know, the way it should be a meritocracy, and you know, guys that have opportunities and guys that have a chance to kind of impact a playoff roster. So Kyle's in the mix. You know, Brock threw yesterday. He's going to throw tomorrow. He's in the mix. So, you know, we're open.
And how big of a challenge do you think it's going to be to kind of give some of those guys opportunities, because it's so late in the season, they could be a part of those best 13 pitchers you talk about?
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. You know, Brock's coming back, you know, after his Saturday outing, so something's going to have to happen. And then Kyle's going to have another one or two, and if he shows well, then, you know, I think the good thing for us is that we might have some tough decisions to make. But yeah, we're getting close to the end, and certainly to get, you know, those two guys that you mentioned, or I mentioned, Brock, in Major League games, I think would be certainly helpful. I know for certain that Brock will be in Major League games. I do know that.
So Brock Stewart's another guy that is working his way back. They traded for him, and he's someone that you know that they're going to want to give an opportunity to, because he's supposed to be good against righties. He has been this year. The stuff's been really, really good with the Twins. Is it going to be as good with the Dodgers? That's kind of the biggest thing with that. And then on the position player side, I think the big question is, at this point, and we're going to do the roster crunch a little later, but from what I've been hearing, there's definitely a chance that Ben Rortvedt is a part of this postseason roster for the Dodgers. And it's a very surprise turn of events just because no one thought this guy was anything when the Dodgers traded for him on July 31st, right at the deadline. The Dodgers traded for Rortvedt, Paul Gervais, and Adam Serwanowski, and they traded away Hunter Fiducia. So Gervais, they got high upside. Serwanowski's been good at the minor league level. And Ben Rortvedt, who his teammates will call him Vetty and things like that. I asked him about the nickname, by the way, Noel. I asked him.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I told him, I said, hey, Ben, our show, we are having a nickname competition for you. And the best one we've come up with so far is the Rottweiler. And he liked it.
Nice.
He really liked it. He said he liked it, but he said, keep going and we'll see which one sticks.
So I saw Ron Stoppable in the chat. He said his proposed nickname is Benny the Vet Rortvedt.
That's the comment of the show. Benny the Vet Rodriguez. I cannot wait to go up and tell him that one. It's a little long, right? It's like there's no way his teammates can be like, hey, Benny the Vet, but like, you know, they always pick like like they call Ben Casparis Caspy. Like they always just kind of Michael Kopech Kopey.
They move it around.
So basically just truncating their name and adding a Y.
I saw he told our guy Blake too about his walk-up song. Did you see that?
Yeah.
The Squirtle meme. Yeah. He found out about it from the little Squirtle video.
Yeah, no, that's he's becoming a fan favorite. I mean, I've said he's this year's Brent Honeywell, and he feels like he's actually more important to this team than what Brent Honeywell was. And Honeywell was great. I mean, fear of the turtleneck, and he had me at the chains and the mullet, and getting Mookie Betts right in the NLDS by forcing him to hit home runs off of him, I think was big. But the reason why I think that Ben Rortvedt could make this postseason roster now is based on kind of stuff I've been hearing. And that I think is that, hey, Will Smith, of course, if he's healthy and you expect him to play, and last year he played all throughout October, you didn't see any Austin Barnes taking at bats. That's the option, right? But I do think that because of the hand injury, that makes Ben Rortvedt's premium as a really good game caller, a really good pitch framer, handling the pitching staff the way that he does, it makes it a more viable option versus if Will Smith was 100% healthy and you didn't have any concerns about that hand, then it'd be easily Dalton Rushing, because Dalton Rushing has more upside as an explosive bat, but then Ben Rortvedt has more upside as a consistent bat as far as a guy that just puts the ball in play. I mean, Ben Rortvedt, I thought he was just like an NPC character that no one was going to remember, right? And all of a sudden, he's a guy that every time he's at the plate, something good feels like it's happening. And even if he goes up to the plate and you don't see results, you still see a guy that's going up there and he's helping this team, whether it be putting the ball in play, whether it be a swinging bunt, things like that. He helps this team. I mean, look at yesterday. Ben Rortvedt goes 1 for 3. The night before against the Phillies, he went 1 for 3, got that RBI. And this month, you're really starting to see that production with him. I mean, a 294 batting average and 721 OPS with the Dodgers after being a guy that was a non-factor at the plate as a hitter when he was with the Tampa Bay Rays. This year with the Rays, he was hitting .095 with a 297 OPS. The Dodgers, a 264 OPS, and he's been an outstanding game caller, and he's really helped this team in a lot of ways. And I asked Dave Roberts about how impressed he's been with Ben Rortvedt, the Rottweiler, and here's what he said.
Dave, what can you say about Ben Rortvedt? He's hitting over 300 now. Are you pleasantly surprised with how he's been at the plate?
Over the moon with the way he's played. He's certainly a glove-first guy, but how he's transitioned, assimilated with our guys, and built trust with the pitchers is remarkable in such a short time. And what he's done behind the plate it's not lost on anyone. It's not a coincidence. The way he catches it, the calling of the game, and then the at-bat quality. You know, every at-bat is a good at-bat, you know, and he's gotten some big hits for us, some big walks. He can lay down a bunt if we need it. So, you know, for a guy to kind of fill in for Will, an all-star catcher, he has been more than a pleasant surprise. He's been hugely additive.
So there you go. So if you could see a lineup together, here's a possible lineup with Ben Rortvedt, or a position player side as far as the roster goes. You got Ohtani, Mookie, Freddie. That's 3. Teo Smith, Muncy. That's 6. Edmund Pages, Kike, Rojas. Then Michael Conforto as a veteran bat, potentially off the bench and a platoon role. We know that when you have Tommy Edman in center, that's going to be against left-handed pitchers. He's better against lefties this year. And then when you have a Michael Conforto opportunity, that will be against righties, and you'll have Pages back in center, Conforto in left, and Teoscar Hernandez in right. And then we'll see how they work in Kike Hernandez. That's another interesting question that needs to be answered too. That is, with Kike, does he see some platoon action at third base? Is that the path to playing time for Kike? Or do you see him in left field sometimes? Do you see him in center field sometimes? Do you see him at second base sometimes? I think it's going to come down to how the offense performs early and how much they want to go to their super lucky charm, their postseason all-star, their all-time great postseason, Mr. Keektober himself, and when they want to tap into that. But if you look at towards the bottom, if Ben Rortvedt makes it, that's 12. In the last spot, Hesung Kim, Alex Call, and Dawn Rushing. With Alex Call, it's pretty interesting because he's a guy with a lefty on the mound. You definitely like him in there, but would you like him in there more than Kike Hernandez potentially? And I guess you could put Kike in there at third, and you could kind of stack it with more righties and put him in the outfield. He has really good at-bat quality, sees a lot of pitches. I mean, his home runs, he kind of hits tanks, and it's going to be their call. Give myself a bruh for that. Bruh. But I think at the end of the day, do you value that, or does Hesung Kim as a pinch runner get the opportunity? Because they have not used him a lot. They really haven't. If you look at Hesung Kim since he's been back, you just have not seen a ton of opportunities for him. And that kind of tells you that if he's gone 1 for 14 since coming back off the IL, 1 for 14 with a single. He had a base hit against the Orioles in the Sunday game a few weeks ago. But with Hesung Kim, he does provide that option, some positional versatility. Do you go with the veteran, though, instead? And do you go with someone like an Alex Call? Do you go with a Conforto still? Do you think that Rushing has more potential than Conforto as a bat off the bench because of how explosive he can be? We saw a 3-run home run that he did hit against the Padres that was big. I think the thing with Conforto, the Congoto, and I do think that I'm still somehow believing that baseball is so weird that it'd be so fitting for him to do something. He has looked a little better of late. He had that 3-hit game against the Giants last Sunday. We'll see how he performs in this series. But Dalton Rushing has not gotten many opportunities, and I'm curious to see if Dalton Rushing starts tonight. I think ultimately it'll be Clayton Kershaw's call, who is behind the dish. But Ben Rortvedt has caught a lot of games in a row. Wouldn't be surprised to see Rushing behind the plate tonight. But those are the big questions right now. What the ultimate answer will be, I think it's too soon to make a prediction on the bullpen pieces just because we haven't seen Hurt and Roki pitch at this level. But I do think that they want to see Brock Stewart make that roster because they traded for him and he's more of a veteran. He's really good against righties, and he'll have to lose the job. Whereas Roki and Hurt will have to really, really impress to take that job from another veteran. As far as the bottom of the roster, we're going to learn a lot tonight. What I have heard, though, is there's better chances for Ben Rortvedt right now just because of the injuries to Will Smith, because of how good he's looked at the plate. Dalton Rushing has pop, but at the end of the day, coming off the bench as a rookie the way he has, it's a tough spot. And he, on the year, is hitting 189 with a 547 OPS. And also, there's been a lot of wild pitches and kind of the guys running on him and things like that. So I think defensively, they just really like Ben Rortvedt. And I do think Conforto, it's interesting because with Kike and Alex Call, I mean, Alex Call is not a 4th outfielder anymore. He's basically a 5th outfielder or a 6th outfielder. But we'll see how things play out. There's definitely competition at the end of the roster. I think right now Ben Rortvedt has the inside track to make the catcher spot over Rushing. And I do think that we could see Call and Conforto, and maybe Haesung Kim doesn't make it. But I also think that we'll see how it plays out. They value him as a pincher. I'm going to ask Dave about that today. But now, guys, drop your comments. We're going to talk Kurt's a jam-packed show. Go to Born and Raised. Go to gearup.la for all of our best t-shirts in the game. But here's my interview with Miguel Rojas. We're going to get into that when we come back. Miguel Rojas. He's one of the best interviews you're going to get because he keeps it 100. He keeps it a buck, and he really gives genuine insight into the Dodgers clubhouse that you really won't hear from any other player. He also told me about his future plans, and he hasn't said this to anyone. So let's hear from Miguel Rojas. So when we come back, we'll talk some Clayton Kershaw.
All right, Dodgers Nation, welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. And we're joined by one of our favorite, the great Miguel Rojas. Gives the best, most introspective, thoughtful answers. Before I get into Kersh, though, I want to say congratulations. The LA good guy. He's a good guy. You're a great guy, and thanks for talking to us. But let's talk about Kersh. I mean, you've known this guy for a long time. How did you learn of the news, and what was your reaction?
Yeah, it happened yesterday. I was in the clubhouse. He was sitting right next to my locker, and then Lon Rosen came to him and started talking about something that he had to do at 5:30. I wasn't paying too much attention to it. I didn't know what was gonna happen. And then after that, he told Mike Conforto and I that we're sitting right next to him. I'm telling everybody that I'm retiring tomorrow, and I was kind of shocked. That was my first reaction. I didn't know what to say. I guess I gotta say congratulations, Kersh, but we still got some things to do this year before you hang it. And I was shocked, and I still in shock because I want him to kind of pitch in another postseason, help us win another World Series, and hopefully we can win it not just for the city of LA, but for him, so he can retire as a champion once again.
Yeah, Miguel, and it's almost fitting that you're wearing 72 this year, right? I mean, you go back till you make that play, Tulowitzki ground ball, and just get all the history with him. But what was the mood like? Was it shock? Was it a little bit of a congratulatory mood? Just what was the overall mood by the group when you learned?
Yeah, the thing is, like, we've been talking about this the whole year. We had a really good card table game on the flights throughout the whole year. Freddie always making fun of him, like, okay, let's go for another 1,000 strikeouts. You know, like how many more years it will take you to get to 4,000 strikeouts. And then there was always conversations about like keeping the window open to kind of return next year. And I thought the whole time with the season that he's having, the way that he's pitching, like providing a start after start, an opportunity for us to win. I thought he got a pretty good opportunity to pitch next year, but obviously there have to be like reasons behind that. Family related and health related to kind of like make this decision. And I mean, regardless of what year it was gonna make this happen, I feel like he's retiring at the moment where he's in the top of the game still. You know, he's pitching at the highest level for a competitive team that wants to win the World Series, and I'm just happy for him that he have to kind of like experience all this time here in LA, 18 years of baseball in the highest level, at the highest level as a pitcher. And I feel like I'm so proud that I got the opportunity to play behind the best of our generation, day in, day out, every time that I have the opportunity to help him. And all I can say is congratulations, Kersh, on an amazing career. And I hope after we win the World Series this year, you enjoy your retirement.
I love that. Love to hear that. I was going to ask that actually because you guys are as hungry as ever, right? You don't lack motivation, but can you tap into this just a little bit, knowing it's Clayton Kershaw's last year and wanting to send him out as a champion?
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a motivation for us. You know, this is one of the things that kind of like provide a little bit more of energy when you're in the middle of the hunt. You know, like every single day you come to the ballpark with the goal of winning. If we don't win that day, we don't feel good, and we feel like it's a failure of a day, and then we come back next day with the same mentality. We gotta win a game. So for us to have the opportunity to kind of like be winners at the end of the year after the last game of the season, that's the biggest privilege that we can have for a guy like Clayton and for us as a team. So I hope we can do it, and we have a really good opportunity to repeat. And we all know in this clubhouse that the talent is there, and we have the motivation of doing it.
And last year, that was such a special team. There was so much made about you guys getting together and spending a lot of time with each other. Do you get the same sense with this group that you're going to almost do that again? Do you expect being really close heading into the postseason?
Yeah, we're still close. I feel like throughout the up and downs of the year, we've been like really close. On terms of like the team and the chemistry and what we want to accomplish, and we knew how hard it was going to be, because when you have the chip on your shoulder that you're the reigning champion and you're facing these teams day in, day out, they want to provide the best because they know they're going to be facing the best. And I feel like that's one of the things that we have to kind of like learn this year, how it was going to be, knowing what we did last year, what we did in the offseason as an organization, adding a lot of talent and having all these guys that are in the top of their game, starting pitcher, relief pitching, the position players that we get. I feel like that was kind of like, okay, this is something that we haven't done before. And for me, it's not just the culture and the chemistry that we have in the clubhouse. It's actually going out there and perform every single day. It's really hard to do, especially when you have to play more than just 6 months in a year, and then coming back for spring training really early in the year. This year to go to Japan, put a good show over there, and all the travel, all the kind of all those little things, they're gonna take a task on your players every single day, and I feel like that's something that we have to kind of like overcome and prove that we're ready to do that.
Yeah, and it's not an excuse, right? It's just a fact. It's an explanation. I mean, you guys played so much baseball, had a short off season, guys having down years that have really turned around. Muncy, Mookie, the list goes on and on. Does it feel like almost you have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, a little bit of an edge heading into this postseason, knowing that you didn't win 150, 120 games like some people were saying, but it's about winning those 11 or 13 games in the postseason? You feel kind of like you're just having that edge heading into October?
Yeah, you got to have that confidence coming into the year, that you're going to win a lot of games, That's why even like that was out of my mouth, like we're gonna win a lot of games and that's always the goal, because every time you walk in this clubhouse you feel like you have the opportunity to win. And how could you not feel like you can win a game when you have Yamamoto, when you have Blake Snell, when you have Tyler Glasnow, Clayton Kershaw, Roki Sasaki, Shohei Ohtani coming back and pitching this year? When those guys take the ball, you have a chance to win a baseball game. So that's still our mentality and our goal. And we know going into the postseason this year, who knows? We're gonna have to win 11 games or we're gonna have to win 13 games. Regardless of the many games that we have to win, our mentality is to win that last baseball game like we did last year. We know it's not gonna be easy because everybody else in the league, 30 teams in the league now, a little less, because the teams that make the playoff, they're gonna feel like they have an opportunity to win the World Series, and it's a clean slate. Like nobody's ahead of anybody. So I feel like it's gonna be a great run, and we're looking forward for the challenge and the opportunity for us to do something special. It haven't been done in over 20 years.
And there's no disappointment, right? I mean, as far as you guys, if you do have to play in that wild card round?
Definitely not. I feel like, for Dodger fans, you guys being spoiled because this organization is been winning on a daily basis for a long time. A few World Series appearances, 2 World Series rings, and I feel like you guys are kind of used to winning a lot of baseball games in the regular season. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you win 106 like you guys did in 2017 or 18. I don't know what year it was. They didn't win the World Series, so it doesn't
Last year they did win 100, you won 98, you won it all. That's all that matters.
That's what I always say. As a team, we feel like we could have won many more games, but we can really think about that because it's not important. What is important is getting there and getting it done in October. If we don't win it all, it's gonna be a failure anyways, So for me, it doesn't matter like how many wins you get, as long as you get in and you got an opportunity to put yourself in a good position to win the World Series.
It feels like that's freeing for you guys, just to kind of know that. You mentioned the starting pitching. We know the bats that you guys have. The bullpen is kind of that area that struggled of late. We're gonna have to use you and Kike potentially out of the pen. Of course, I'm just kidding. But as one of the team leaders, have you talked to any of those guys? Because you've taken on this really incredible leadership role for this team. Just what do you think of this bullpen? Are you confident that they get it together when October rolls around?
Yeah, I got plenty of confidence on those guys because I know they're doing everything that they possibly can to actually be ready for the opportunity that they're gonna be given. And I think one of the most important parts is like the accountability of the older players, that they need to be the ones stepping up. You know, I know we got guys like Jack Dreyer and Ben Casperis when he was up here, and I know he's gonna be part of this. And the younger guys, and Edgardo Enriquez and all that, yeah, we're gonna need them. But we need our big dogs to kind of step it up big time when the situations comes once again. And I know these guys had done it in the past. Last year, we weren't really good for the whole year, out of the bullpen in the middle of the year either. And all of a sudden, when playoff time starts against the Padres, we saw what they could do. They got the confidence at the right time, and they took it from us. So I feel like offense have to do like little minimal stuff to win the games, because we knew if we have the lead after the 7th inning, we was gonna win the game. And I feel like really confident that these guys and our dogs that we know we have in the bullpen, they're gonna come out and they're gonna be ready for the challenge.
Yeah, Miguel, you talked about winning a championship to send Kershaw out the right way. Yourself, you're going to be a free agent next season. You've had a really, really good year at the plate. You're always excellent defensively. You were injured last year early in the postseason. How much are you looking forward to having a role on this team, and what do you expect that role to be in October?
Yeah, I'm looking forward for this opportunity because I'm healthy, I'm feeling great, and I'm trying to help the team at any capacity as I can. If I have to start against righties, I have to start against lefties. If I have to come out of the bench against a left-handed pitcher from the bullpen, I'm gonna be ready for anything that Doc needs me. And I feel like that's the role that I kind of like embrace early in the year, knowing that this can be kind of like what I'm gonna be most useful throughout the year. But at the end of the day, if I'm playing more, I'm going to be ready to go out there every single day. If it's second base, third base, shortstop, first base, whatever the situation might be, I'll be ready to go. And I'm excited to give it another chance to win another World Series and hopefully play another year for the Dodgers.
So you're hoping to come back next season?
100%, yeah. This is going to be my first priority, to sign here with the Dodgers for one more year. I want to do that. And then after that, we'll reevaluate where my career is going to go.
Everyone always says that you would make a great manager. Would you like to pursue that after your playing days?
100%, yeah. That's one of my goals. I wanna coach. I wanna kind of like put my input in like the whole kind of experience that I had playing the game and learning the game from others and learning from coaches, learning from my teammates, playing around the best in the game for a long time. I feel like I could have a critical opportunity to help the next generation and even the generation that we have right now, because I don't want to get away from the game. So I want to stay in the game as long as I have an opportunity, and I'm looking forward to do that. So I don't know what my role is going to be, what path I'm going to have to take, but I want to keep all the avenues open for me to kind of stay in the game and help the next generation.
Who on this current team would you have on your staff? Would you have Kershaw as the pitching coach? Would you have Will Smith? Who else would it be?
I would say Kike will be my bench coach for sure. I think the knowledge and the edge that Kike have, not many players have him in the game of baseball. One of the more detailed, paying attention to the little things, know the analytic part of the game really well. He knows the old school part of the game, and I feel like he will be a really key piece. Even though he probably, I don't know what his like future is gonna hold after he retired after baseball, and when is that gonna be. But I feel like Kike will be a guy that I want to have around. And on the pitching side, definitely I will have to lean on someone that kind of like know all the stuff that I don't know about pitching. And this is all hypothetical for sure, but definitely would like to have a guy on the pitching side that pitched for a long time and they know the game and they care about their players.
Awesome. So you're going to be at Legends Act this Saturday doing an appearance. All the best sports memorabilia there. Do you have a favorite piece of sports memorabilia that you own?
Yeah, I had a couple jerseys at home that I like. I got a Magic Johnson jersey from a couple years ago. He gave us an special gift basket at the beginning of the year. I have a orange Hershiser sign jersey too from last year. I have a couple bats from players in the game that I consider my friends. Guys like Miguel Cabrera, Martin Prado, Ichiro Suzuki when he hit the 3,000 hit in Colorado with the Marlins. I have Christian Yelich there, Giancarlo Stanton, Freddie Freeman, and all those guys. So I have a couple pieces, but I'm looking forward to spend a couple hours with the Dodger fans. Always really appreciate of the up and downs and the critics and the cheers. It's always part of the game, and I love when they put you in your place when you need the wake up call. I feel like it's necessary in the game, and I feel like that's all part of being a professional baseball player.
Yeah, absolutely. Standards high here. The Dodgers fans are absolutely spoiled. That's what happens when you win so much here. We're gonna end on this though. So I'm gonna show you these players, and I'm gonna try to see if you can guess which those are. Okay? So let's start with who's that?
All right, let me see it again.
See if you can get this one.
Oh, that's easy. That's me.
There you go, Miguel Rojas. See, we're trying to warm you up. Okay, this one.
Okay.
This is kind of a tough one.
Oh, this is Kersh.
Wow, how'd you get it so quick?
I'm really good at this.
Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, that's another one. Let me get you another one. Here we go. This one, okay, this will be tough. All right, let's go to this one right here.
It's Miguel Vargas.
Wow, that was like my hard one. Okay, this you won't get this one. I'll give you a clue.
Sean Green.
So it's not a current Dodger. That's a good one. But he is not. He's on the staff, but he's not a current player.
Dave Roberts.
There you go, Dave.
Yeah,
Roberts.
yeah.
There you go. See left-hand swing. Let's see if we can get
He swing the bat like that. The homer that Sean Green hit on a 5-hit game. This is Shohei.
Wow, you don't miss. Okay, so you got that one. There's you. There's Kersh. Yeah, I got a couple more here for you. Let's see, actually, this one. You know what? There you go.
Oh, Kim.
Wow, I thought I was gonna get you. Well, Miguel,
I'm really good at this.
I'm gonna find some. I'm gonna go deep cuts. I'm gonna go really deep. I'm gonna go like crazy next time. But thank you so much, Miguel Rojas, for the insight, for the reaction, telling you what's happening with the team and Clayton Kershaw. We're expecting big things as always, and congratulations on the award, the nice guy of LA, right? The LA nice guy. But thank you so much for joining us here, Miguel Rojas, guys. See him this Saturday at Legends Attic.
There was our friend Miguel Rojas. He's going to be a manager one day. He said, hey, him, Kike, managing. Who knows if it'll be this team, another team, but that is really cool to see. All right, guys, so a little bit on Clayton Kershaw. We're going to kind of save the I'm not ready to let go. Yes, it's the final regular season game, and we talked about it yesterday on the show for a good long stretch, but to me, this feels different than Kobe's 60-point game. But Kobe's send-off against the Jazz, because we knew that was it. We knew the Lakers were going to be in the playoffs. I think with Clayton Kershaw, he's going to get some opportunity in the postseason, hopefully. And yesterday, Dave, he was pretty vague about the potential role that he would have. And I do think that when you look at his playoff status, there's no way he's going to be left off the roster, right? I mean, I think the fact that you have Shohei Ohtani's roster spot, the Ohtani role, that helps him for sure. But there's no way he came back and had the season that he did where he's still a really good, solid pitcher, and you're not going to keep him on there. So Dave Roberts did say yesterday, quote, I still feel there is a role for him, a spot for him. So what is that role? Because this is a guy that all he knows is starting, and then you got a rotation that's stacked. Like, there's no way you could say that Clayton Kershaw would deserve to start a postseason game over Yamamoto, Shohei Ohtani, Tyler Glasnow, or Blake Snell. I think the order right now, the circle of trust, if you're ranking the pitchers, Yamamoto, Ohtani, Snell, Glasnow. And after that, Clayton Kershaw fits in, and then you have Emmet Sheehan. One thing that I was thinking and talking about is, what if you used Clayton Kershaw as an opener for Tyler Glasnow? What if you use him as an opener for Glasnow in a game? He sees the order a couple times. Maybe he gives a really different look as far as a left-handed pitcher throwing 90 slider, and then you have Glasnow coming in with straight up gas, and then you stretch that thing, and then you take some stress off the bullpen, and you continue to preserve that. So I do think that could be a potential move for him. Even, I think Shohei Ohtani using him as an opener would be different because of the way the rules play out, but I could see that. He's going to get a start. He's going to get some start. And if he comes up as a mop-up guy, that's another option. But another role, too, that no one's really talking about when it comes to Clayton Kershaw is, look, we know how good the starters are, and in a perfect world, they all go 6 or 7 innings. But if there is that one game where a particular starter does not have it that night, he's the guy that you can use early to eat innings to see if that offense can turn around, to see if you can try to get things going, and then you use those high-leverage bullpen arms. So could we see Kersh come in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th inning in a start that hasn't gone well? So I'm just looking at every option for Clayton Kershaw. But it was an emotional day at Dodger Stadium. I was there, and the thing that was unique about it to me was the fact that when you got into that media room, you had all the media there, you had TV media, you had beat writers, the people that you typically see in those situations, but every single one of his teammates was there outside of Yamamoto because he was starting. And you saw Freddie Freeman walk in, and Freddie, he looked at those first 2 rows, they were empty, and then he pointed to Kershaw's wife and kids and Ellen, and he said, "Hey, come sit here because I'm the person who's usually crying in these situations. You can come here and you can help me out." And it made everyone laugh, and everyone felt really good about that, and that kind of broke the ice a little bit. But Muncy comes in, Kike comes in, then all of a sudden you look around and you're like, oh, where's Mookie? Where's Shohei? Sure enough, you turn your head and you see Mookie. There's a really good picture of this on Getty Images, by the way. There's Mookie and Shohei right in the mix of reporters. I really wish someone would have asked him a question, by the way. Like if Austin Barnes or AJ Ellis or something like that is asking a question. So really cool to see all of them there. I do think that this is something that's going to give them some extra juice. But here was Clayton Kershaw talking about being at peace with his decision.
Short and sweet, and then, be able to really tell people just how grateful I am for everybody that's in this organization, that's in this room, that's been here later on. But, I'm gonna call it. I'm going to retire. We've talked about it a lot. Ellen and I have talked about it a lot. Kiddo's talked about it a lot, and I'm at peace with it. I think it's the right time. And it's been such a fun year. I've had such a blast with this group. I've had such a blast with all you guys. So I can't think of a better season to go out. And we still have a lot to accomplish, obviously, this month. And the last thing I want to do is be a distraction to anybody for accomplishing our ultimate goal, to win in the last game of the season. So we're going to get through this today, and then we're going to go win the rest of the games and be good. But
so there was him, and he does feel like he's at peace. It really does. And what I like about Clayton Kershaw is he's not like an Aaron Rodgers or Joe Namath or one of these guys that knows they can still play, but they're just still doing it, right? He is more like a Kobe Bryant going out when he could still perform, but he does not want to be a role player. He does not want to look like a guy that's hanging on, right? He's a guy who is already beat the video game, and he's just on story mode exploring the map. Like he has nothing else to prove. Having said that, though, I do think that as much fun as he had last year being a part of that team, and as wild as he was at the parade, we'll never forget this. Dodger for life! And him saying things like, I didn't do anything for this championship, but he still called himself a 2-time champ. I think that he wants to put his stamp on this postseason in some capacity in a positive light, because we're going to spend a lot of time this offseason looking at the narrative about Clayton Kershaw and the postseason struggles and the issues that he had. I think there's a lot of things in play. I really do. I think that there's a lot of new Dodgers fans. There's a lot of old Dodgers fans. There's everything in between. And I think the people that try to hang on to the narrative about Clayton Kershaw that he's this bad pitcher in the postseason, he had his good starts. He had his bad starts. He was also grossly mismanaged. Don Mattingly could not manage a low-volume Subway when you look at how he managed the pitching staff and a rotation. And I'm not just saying that because there's so many different examples, but look at the NLDS 2014 NLDS Game 1. I was watching that this morning. I have a weird way of dealing with a little masochistic. I mean, everyone's looking at his highlights. I'm looking at the lowlights because I'm ready for the ammo. I'm that meme where you have the phone that's stretched out and there's smoke coming out of it defending. That's me with Kersh the entire career, right? I'm the most devout Kershian, right? But go back and look at that game, the 2014 NLDS Game 1. Clayton Kershaw is through 6 innings. He's allowed 2 runs. He gave up a run in the 6th inning. Carpenter had hit a home run earlier off of him, but the Dodgers are up 6-2. 6-2 at that point. And then Don Mattingly, of course, not getting creative, not having any sense of where his starting pitcher is at. He sends him back out there for the 7th inning on 82 pitches. And yes, at that point, he would have gotten ridiculed had he taken him out at that point, right? But 82 pitches in 6 innings, fine. But he goes out there and he gives up back-to-back 3 consecutive singles in a row. And you look at that Dodgers bullpen, it's crickets. No one's warming up. No one after 3 straight singles. And then what happens next? He gives up another single. And then you got the bases loaded. It's a 6-3 game. They already had scored a run because of that hit. And then guess what? At that point, for sure, 100% someone's warming up. At that point, Pedro Baez is up, right? No, for sure. Still no one warming up after giving up 4 hits and allowing a run. And then Kersh comes back. He gets a strikeout. The bases are still juiced. With 1 out, it's a 6-3 game. He's inching closer to 100 pitches. He's at 96. And then next man up, another single. It was death by paper cuts. And then at that point, it's a 6-4 game. He's at 100 pitches. At this point, for sure, someone's warming up. I mean, at that point, of course, still no one warming up. Like, still no one warming up. After that, he let Kershaw die out there and did not give him a life raft. Did not help him in any way. And then any manager that would have had half a brain in that situation, that had any idea how to manage a bullpen in the starting rotation, would have said to themselves, wait a second, my guy's struggling. He clearly doesn't have it right now. And you got the guy that just hit a home run off him early in the game coming up in Matt Carpenter. What happens? He lets him face Carpenter. And in the at-bat, Kersh couldn't get him out. He had 6 balls that he fouled off. And then all of a sudden, bases clearing double, 110th pitch of the outing. The Dodgers now trailing 6-7. And then at that point, of course, Don Mattingly comes out and takes the ball. And then Pedro Baez comes in. What does he do? Gives up a home run. And then Clayton Kershaw's line that started where he was through 6 innings with 2 earned runs, goes from 6 2/3 innings where he had allowed 8 earned runs with 10 strikeouts and no walks. So that's just one example, but I think that's a microcosm that epitomized the Clayton Kershaw experience with Don Mattingly. So I look at it as this. Clayton Kershaw, yes, he had his down moments in the postseason, but he also had moments dominant against the Mets in a Game 1, dominant against the Astros in a Game 1. He should have won the World Series MVP in 2017. I've talked to so many different national writers about this. Had the Dodgers had won that series and he finished Game 5 with a strong pitching performance, coming off a Game 1 where he in 7 innings and gave up 1 run and was the first pitcher to have 11 strikeouts and no walks in a World Series game since the 50s, he would have won World Series MVP. This narrative wouldn't exist. All these non-fake Dodgers fans that call him Chokeshaw would have for sure had nothing, right? And yes, the legacy is complicated. We understand that. It is. But the truth is that Clayton Kershaw is one of the best pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball. He's the most accomplished pitcher for the Dodgers, and he's your guy. I mean, he really is your guy because you've seen him through 18 years, Kershaw days, and there have been downs, but there have been way more ups than downs. And this team, winning a World Series with him would cap things off. I would trade 5 World Series down the line somewhere for a World Series win this year. Because you give Kershaw a World Series to retire with, and you become the first team to win back-to-back titles. And then I think you look at the Ohtani era as no matter what, it's not a disappointment. Like right now, they have a World Series in the 10 years with him. In the first year, you win a World Series. If you win 2, you can already say it's a success. Right now, if you win 1 with 10 years, you might say it's a disappointment, but not a failure. But I think you win 2, and then you have absolutely got it. But all right, guys, here's some more on Clayton Kershaw and just talking about him and just kind of the emotions with it.
What are you most proud of?
I don't know. Hold on, I think I can answer that. Just give me a minute. I think we all play this game for the respect of our teammates, and so having these guys here is pretty special. I'm proud of that.
What about playing your entire career in Dodger blue, Clayton?
Yeah, that's been amazing. I love being here. I wouldn't change that for anything. Yeah, my kids have grown up here. LA's, we started out, dating to married to four and a half kids later. So it's just been, we've all grown up here, haven't we? Yeah. So it's just been, it's been a special place.
Anticipating tomorrow night making your final regular season start?
I anticipate pitching good, Dave. All right. I mean, this is not, this game matters, for both teams. Everybody's still in it. We got to win these games. So it's good to get this out of the way today. And, it'll be heightened, I'm sure, but I got a job to do. So I need to go out there and do my job. And thankfully I'll have that to distract me for sure.
So there was Clayton Kershaw. We'll give a lot of time to talk about him this entire offseason, and hopefully that won't come anytime soon. But guys, I want to give you your time to shine. That's coming up next on the 7th inning stretch.
The 7th inning stretch.
Let's look out for a comment to the show. We do? Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys' name? All right, we got Tayo Serrano, $5 super chat. Doug, do you think we have a better Dodgers team going to the playoffs this year? Last year, it didn't look good, but they won it all. Go blue. I think it's tough to measure the grit of this team compared to last year's team, because last year's team, they had that dog. They had that grit. By the way, I actually told Emmet Sheehan, I was like, hey, Emmet, you guys should lose the show chains and all wear dog collars. And he actually thought it was a good idea. Wouldn't that be sick?
That would be fire.
They'll wear the dog collars. I don't think they ever will, but that would, I think other teams' fan base would clown that.
Oh,
but
my God. Yeah, they would have a field day with that.
It would be pretty awesome to see. But it's on paper, this team, the starting pitching, there's no comparison. The offense, last year, some guys are having better years than they are this year, but guys have turned it around late. It's pretty much a push. And in the bullpen, you have a lot of those same guys. So it's tough to see how they're going to come through and respond. The difference is this team's going to have to win 13 games instead of 11 like last year. Nico Suave, the Apple TV broadcast thing is going to be brutal. Yeah, Lola is going to buy us all subscriptions to the Apple TV. And Major League Baseball should just kind of make this one a national game. Lola, I swear, when I'm gone, I will rewind and catch up. Husband is close by. Damn, got to ruin my time with D-Mac. Are you planning on streaming tonight, or is it going to be nuts? Yeah, definitely streaming tonight for sure. Got to go live after this one. But Lola always rocking with us. No, I mean, I'm sure husband's a big Dodgers fan for sure. We got Malachi Ferreira. Yeah, her husband. Yeah, we got Malachi Ferreira. Not trying to be negative, but just like the 3K strikeout day, the Sox were trying to ruin it. I feel the Giants may try the same. I was thinking the same thing too, that the Giants of all teams are going to do everything they can to spoil his last regular season game. D-Max forearms are like Miggy's calves. Are you crazy? No, he's jacked. Is Ben. I actually asked Rortvedt if he liked the Benny biceps thing. I think he kind of wants a different nickname. Yeah, but my man's definitely super jacked for sure. I was like, hey man, you must like that shirt. You must not be flexing. That means you like that shirt, right? Because the sleeves would pop off. Nando 390 D-Mac gonna slide in a shirtless pic and say, "Oh, how that get in there?" Wait, what are you talking about?
He was talking about the Miggy Rowe interview when you popped up the silhouette.
That's I'll give myself a bruh for that.
When Nando said that, it reminded me of your Friedman interview when you popped up the Ohtani.
Hey, that's our greatest moment on the show. I really think it is. Yang Yi, how about an opener with Tanner? That would make sure he would not close the game. That's a really good point. I like that. A Tanner Scott opener could be interesting. And I think it's important to throw out all these ideas. I really do. And I think that's a fire take right there. I love that. Del Boy, looks like D-Mac wants to... Did it really look like that? I didn't even know, man. You got to get close because it was so loud at Dodgers Stadium, okay? Tony Moreno, I'm imagining Kershaw coming in the last game of the World Series and closing it out. Hey, if you've been watching this show this entire year, I've said it. Clayton Kershaw gets the final out against the Astros in the World Series. And you remember in Rudy where they want to get Rudy in? So Vince Vaughn made sure they scored that last touchdown to make sure he got in the game. I'm hoping you guys like Rudy? Who's the wild man now? But I think the Dodgers offense needs to do the same thing in the clincher in the World Series. Say, hey, let's try to blow this team out so we don't have to throw Kersh in a pressure situation. And imagine how poetic that would be. Hey, what the baseball gods did to Clayton Kershaw's narrative from 2017 with the Astros, they owe him a solid. And I think that would be great. Nando, D-Mac asked Miggy Rowe if he'll quote some Scarface movie lines. Okay. Ron Fig, Miggy will be sitting next to Big Papi when he retires. Must see TV. He's great. David on, is it just me? But I feel like Kershaw's retirement is planned, trying to light a fire under the team's ass to compete. I don't think so. I really don't. I think that this team, they don't lack motivation. They don't lack hunger. And I think this has been for a while now that they knew it was happening. We got Lou, Dodgers Nation, what size D-Mac wearing? This is a extra medium. I don't even know what size this is.
It's an extra medium.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think it's 4XL, isn't it?
No, it's not 4XL.
You guys actually like these shirts? I think they're pretty fire. But how much are they?
Guys, off camera, guys, D-Mac likes to like body shame himself sometimes. I always get really mad at him. I always say he's perfect. So in the chat, let him know he's perfect.
That's all Noel, man. Apparently Noel at the Ontario thing. What was it, Robert?
All right.
He was being accused of aura farming. What's that?
We're gonna have to mute that.
You were there to look at the farm system and you were aura farming. Come on.
Yeah.
Not fun. All right, we got D-Mac. Did you ever ask about their celly, Jose? I actually didn't. But Noel, have you seen him do the celly that much these days? That one?
Yeah.
Are they still doing it?
Yeah, they still do it.
I'll try to ask today. Ron Stobble, another contender for our Ben Rortvedt. Darth Vetter. I like that. So he says this is a nickname for Ben Rortvedt, Darth Vetter. Sister. Jose Aguirre, D-Mac. Okay, we got Joe Magic Mike Conforto. I like that. Provided that boost last night. Paul Gutierrez, Dodgers starting pitching has to go at least 7 innings each playoff game. I wouldn't say they have to, but I think you definitely need to lean on them. And I think use them in creative spots and go at least 5-6. We got Joe Megazzani, D-Mac. What's up with Andrew Heaney? Yeah, Andrew Heaney, we saw him get those 3 strikeouts in an appearance. I think he's lower on the depth chart. I don't think they're looking at him because there's so many lefties in front of him. You got Jack Dreyer, you got Robleski, you got Tanner Scott, Anthony Bonda, you got other guys that can use in those spots. Kersheiser from Javier, we got Adi. Blue looks good. Blue looks good on you, D-Mac, respectfully. Blue looks good on everyone. Is there anyone who Blue doesn't look good on? I mean, maybe Josh Reddick as a Dodger, maybe Manny Machado. But walkabout RV as a cannon for an arm. Defense is highly underrated. LAD, absolutely. Here's the one for his statue. Toad V statue has to be his iconic arm lift. I think so too. The debate, I've always said that, right? So I've always said that I thought it was going to be the arm lift for the Clayton Kershaw no-hitter. And he did say yesterday that is one of his biggest moments. But I will say also that he's a guy that's an individual accomplishment that a team helped him win for sure. And you have Clayton Kershaw and Sandy Koufax right next to each other, and Jackie Robinson out in the statues, right? And where the concourse is, and you have Sandy Koufax's iconic delivery. I think that at the end of the day, I could be wrong. I think at the end of the day, he'll want to just have his iconic delivery, the leg kick. Let's be honest. Kids, they are going to be doing that iconic leg kick and mimicking that. The high leg kick, the pronounced leg kick, the dramatic with the glove up. I think that's probably what you're going to see because it'll look like Koufax. I think that'll be important to him. But all right, guys, join us after the show. We'll do our top 5 Clayton Kershaw moments. We'll do that next week. But we are running out of time, so let's go to the walk-off.
The walk-off.
All right, today for the walk-off, we're going to do some more Clayton Kershaw related stuff. And I think that for me, you look at his numbers, and the thing that's most impressive to me is that career ERA, an ERA that is the lowest in the modern era, a 2.54 career ERA. That just shows run prevention. This is a guy that could have won 5 Cy Youngs. He won 3. He won 5. He should have won 4. The R.A. Dickey one was complete nonsense. That was based on the narrative of him being a knuckleball pitcher and that he won 20 games. He should have 4 Cy Youngs. And he did win the MVP. And he's only been 11 pitchers that have won MVP awards. That is a more exclusive club than the 3,000 strikeout club. There's 20 members of the 3,000 strikeout club, only 4 lefties, including Kersh. There's only 11 members of that MVP pitcher club. And yes, Giancarlo Stanton did get hit in the face, and he probably would have won MVP, but still, that was an MVP year. But one of my favorite stats about Kersh is if Clayton Kershaw allowed 146 earned runs before he got another out, he would still have an ERA under 3. He's been that good for that long, and let's have a night tonight to remember. I think the fans are electric. Tonight, it's just about celebrating Clayton Kershaw. He doesn't have to do anything else. The legacy is cemented. First ballot Hall of Famer. There's going to be a statue, seeing 22. But let's get him in a good spot to where he feels good about the postseason, because I'm not ready to let go tonight. I'm really not. This is a different thing than Kobe's last game to me. I know the ticket prices are crazy, but for me, I think it's extremely different because we're going to hear from Kersh at some point in the postseason, and that's when I really want to say my goodbyes. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. Special thanks to Noel and Emma and Robert, and most importantly, all of you guys out there that make this show what it is. Go to gearup.la for the best t-shirts in the game. Pick up our CK3K Clayton Kershaw t-shirt, and go to Born and Raised to get this merch. Probably is already sold out, but hey, it's fire, man. You guys get this this gear for the World Series run for sure. See you guys after the game. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit the like button, join the Discord, and most importantly, remember that nothing brings together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! You're done!